special feeling in Oldsmobile. There is a special feeling in Oldsmobile. More than the luxury ride, it's a feeling of pride that you feel inside.
All right. Well, work on the 66 Toronado. If you saw last time, I talked about tearing apart the engine, and here we are into the painting phase already to get it redone. I'll show you over here. My 66 here. Tore down the whole engine. Got the gaskets off, intake. Got the heads off. I gotta pull the rocker arms for the new heads. New heads are being redone. All that good stuff. So, pretty much ready going to be just reassembling the engine. I'm not touching the camshaft or anything. I just want to get this thing running for Woodward Dream Cruise. The head gasket on this side was blown right in the middle between the two cylinders. So no good. I believe it was cylinder number, oh, not good. I think it's 3, 3, and 5. Don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure it's that though. So got that off. I'm putting in new rods. Got the old carburetor and everything. Got it all laid out. All the bolts, distributor, everything. So yeah, that's with that. So I also got to take apart this door panel here, clean it all up. I gotta get the look at the window motor inside here so I can figure out how to bolt it up on there, and then get the screw from this one so I can find other screws, because so far no one in the Toronado community has any for whatever reason. But yeah, so just want to make it look a little bit nicer. I got paint here that's supposedly almost identical to the 455 blue that would have came on the original 66 425. We'll see. I think I'm going to try starting off with these here to do a test spray, or I may just I'm probably just going to do the intake first, because I mean, as long as it's a nice blue, what could possibly go wrong? Am I right? Yeah. I'm going to do the painting process with my Chinese brand GoPro. So we'll see how that works out too. So yeah, let's get started. So we're going to be starting off with the intake here. This is a standard Toronado intake. I'm keeping with the standard one because no other intake works, unfortunately, with the Toronado, especially for a 455. So we're just going to be roughing it up here with a Brillo pad, or however you scrubbing sponge. It's the stuff that you use just in your own household. Works really well, surprisingly. It gave the surface, the paint something to stick to, which I'm using just a standard engine paint because, well, of course it's going to get hot. But it matched really well to the original 425 color, which is sort of my plan with this whole project. So we're just doing that, doing a little bit of sanding, and then of course off camera I sucked it all up with a vacuum to make sure that none of the dust or anything would get caught in the paint. But I just went all the way around it. I did the water neck housing, which I found out later on is the wrong one. I'm going to be replacing that with an actual 425 one. So it's a little bit of useless doing that, but oh well, it kept the hole clean because I hit it all with a wire brush before, and that's why I put tape all around it just to help protect from paint going in there and messing up with the gaskets later on. So yeah, just scuffing it up, and then we'll be moving on to the painting process here next. So right now we're going to be using a standard VHT, if I remember correctly. It's just a silver blue that they have. I'll throw up a picture now of the can, and so you can get the correct part number for it. It applies really well and evenly, and can't really beat it for its price. It's not too expensive. I think I only paid, I think it was $5 a can, which isn't bad for a high temp paint, and it spreads really evenly over the intake, and it didn't take too many coats to cover the whole thing. So not too bad. Mind you, I'm not the best at painting. I'm probably actually one of the worst. I don't usually paint it all, and a spray can definitely is not the correct way to do this. Most people would powder coat it or actually have a paint gun, but since this is just more of a home brew, we're just doing the good old cheap paint can, which turned out pretty well in the end result. I'll show some video of that later on to show you the end result. I also painted the valve covers, the bracketry for the intake, the water neck housing that I'm not going to be using, of course, and then a couple other things that I didn't show on camera, which was the alternator bracket, and what else was it? Well, I'm going to be painting the block as well, or at least try to. It's going to be messy, but what can you do? Yeah, just nice even coats. Probably the wrong spray pattern, but it worked. It worked for what it needed. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll show some shots of the final product, and you can judge on it just of a quick prep and spray. Not too bad. I'd say they didn't come out too bad for just using a scrub pad and a bit of oval grease. Make sure to vacuum up all the crumbs and everything so the paint won't chip away like it did. I wish I could have done a little bit better, but the metal's pitted on these, unfortunately. But yeah, I think overall pretty good. It's definitely not the color I was expecting, but I mean, it looks good enough, I guess. It looks way more blue in the camera because it almost looks like silver to me. So that's the thing. I'm not sure if this is the correct color for a 425. I guess I'll look that up later. But yeah, that's pretty much all the engine work I want to do for now until I get the heads on Friday.